And you make a good point, Ryan.
That's crazy.
Thank you.
Waffle House.
Hey, all, it's Ryan Monso, and this is Cats, the Cougar After Thoughts Show from GoCoogs.com. I broke my pen.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, that was not a great finish to this game. You really didn't play your best all night. There were moments. Tech let you back in it by missing 9 of 11 free throws or something, 7 of 9, something like that. But you couldn't capitalize. Jawan missed some free throws. Milos missed a crucial one. You lose your first home game in 3 years? 2 years? I don't remember.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts, Brad?
Well, the MMA philosopher known as Nate Diaz said it best. I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. This
What
has
does
been
that
coming.
mean?
This L has been coming.
Okay.
We came out. We pulled a win out of the fire against UCF. We deserved to lose at Kansas. And then we came here. We had a gift laid right in our lap. I'm not saying it wasn't or was a worthy ejection call, but it was. I mean, that's what you got the ejection. You should beat the living piss out of them, and we didn't do it.
Yeah. You got 2 ejections actually.
And not only that, after their best player got ejected, they absolutely donkey punched us on the boards in the first half. I don't know. It's rare to see a U of H team perform that poorly on the glass in a half.
Accurate.
But I mean, this has been coming. This has been coming, and then of course we throw in that fucking failure blue. It was primed for a loss.
I got the Blues. The blue unis are cursed. I knew it. Fuck those stupid blue uniforms. I knew it was a bad idea for basketball. I don't think it's the blue uniform's fault. You got out tough. And, down low, I thought, well, Jawan had a horrible day. And there's just no other way to say it. Jojo Javier, who we don't know the extent of his injury. I thought Javier played tough, but I mean, everybody had 30 fouls except Jawan down low. I don't know if I think U of H fans are disappointed, right? But I don't think it's by the end of the world at all. You still lead the conference. Iowa State lost today. Kansas lost today.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech is now, I believe, in second or are they in third? I don't really. Arizona has 1 loss, so they'd be in third.
Well, I guess looking forward, the impact of this. I mean, of course, it just makes every game bigger. I mean, it's not like they were going to be small if we won. I mean, it'd be nice to have a 2-game lead. But you still got to go back to Tech. You still got to go to Arizona. You still got to go to Arizona. You got to still play Kansas here, and you still got to play Baylor twice, right? Or we just played them once.
I don't recall. I know you go there the last game of the season,
but we still got massive games. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this this doesn't hurt anything. I mean, basically what you've done here is swapped a home winning streak for the win at Fog Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was Fog Allen was expected loss. It's one that you probably assumed you would lose to begin with.
Yeah.
So, but it's one that's been coming. I literally am not surprised at all. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised that it happened because, this team has, it's been hot and cold. Players have been hot and cold. I mean, this game itself was hot and cold. It was a horrible first half, uncharacteristic first half. And did it with their best player going out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the stat sheet. LJ played well. Day one was not good in the first half, much better in the second half.
Who was that?
I said J1 was not good in
J1.
the first half.
Okay.
And I think it just felt J1 was pressing a little bit, playing a little too fast.
100%.
Which that's more of JoJo's territory. But I think, I hate to say it, but Emmanuel hurt us more. He would have helped us more had he just been in the locker room or been on the bench in a boot.
What do you mean?
I those were completely dead minutes. I mean, it wasn't bringing anything offensively, and there were he blew a few assignments on defense that were costly.
Yeah,
I'm not
liability on defense.
Trust me, this is not on him. It's a complete and total team failure. But I think, Arsenault and Malik would have been a better option there. But it is what it is.
I was surprised.
He hits. All he had to do was hit one shot, and everything. It turns into, oh my God, what a genius idea. I wouldn't have said that, but
I was surprised who came out and warmed up. I was surprised they played him. I just thought that they were going to give him that, but obviously they saw on film what this Texas Tech team was, and they're pretty damn good. They blew a game at home to Iowa State, just take it off. But I think this is now 6 in a row for them. They're really good. And this base team is really good. People are going to overreact, and that's what this show is about. But you still had a 13-game winning streak. You're still in first place in the conference. It's not the end of the damn world. It sucks for U of H fans, but it'll be fine tomorrow. I think people are very happy about how everything went in the comments. Maybe you could look at some of those for us. Star Pizza. What a great group of people. And good food, good friends. Anne is walking over towards me. She shot for us today. Looking forward to see what that looks like. Star Pizza lunch specials 5 days a week. Pasta specials on Thursday. Wine specials. Buffet Tuesdays and Fridays. $13.95, and you get a drink. Brad would tell you to have the salad, but I'm not going to recommend that. Brad found out last night that the ordering system has been changed online, and it was a better situation for you, huh?
Absolutely, much
Okay.
nicer. And I tried the personal cauliflower deal last night, and I think I've got an idea here. If I have the cauliflower deal, and I have the one, what was it, the Starburst or whatever that has all the different vegetables on it, the peppers and onions and
Mhm.
what is that noise coming through?
It could be the tech team is right behind me. They're coming out of and their fans are excited.
So anyway, yeah, if it's got vegetables on it, I could just call that a salad. Call it a day. Instead of saying I ate pizza, I said I had a salad.
What do you think a head coach and a guy that kicks people in the nuts talk about in the locker room? I mean, they sat there for 2 hours. What do you think they were talking about?
Well, I mean, if they're watching the game on TV, they're like, "Shit, we didn't even need to come. We should have stayed at home."
Yeah. If you're a tech person, you have to be completely thrilled. And especially with the way your team responded. They didn't bitch and moan. They just went and made shots and got rebounds.
Not
The
only
fact
that,
that the score was so close at the half is the real surprise because they see hell out of you in that first half.
well, I mean, yeah, it's not even. It's the fact that happened on the road at a place that has been proven to be a tough place to play, and they beat the piss out of us physically.
Mhm.
Physically dominated them.
Yes. I think it was an embarrassing number of Tech fans in this building. There was a lot, and they made noise. They were rowdy, and I just don't know how
Well, that's what
U of H
happens.
fans
That's what
get those
happens.
tickets away.
Well, it's not that U of H fans did that. That's what happens when a fucking athletic director from the last few years decides that, oh, he's going to sell everything to fucking ticket brokers. So there's a ton of tickets on the market. I guarantee you pull that crap back, open it up for regular people to buy those tickets. Those aren't filled by opponents' fans.
Yeah,
And-
but a
and
lot of
Tech-
these seats were not those.
Tech is going to buy up every single ticket possible every time they come to Houston, especially when they're having a winning team like they've got now, because this is one of their largest alumni bases.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of Tech fans here. But don't sell tickets to brokers, and then you're good.
That's an idea. We'll get that to the right people. Kelvin was right. Miles cannot miss the front end of a 1-and-1. Absolutely cannot. That is the most devastating. I mean, he's not the first guy you want at the line, but you're really comfortable with him there. And missing that is so brutal. And they come back down. Darian Williams hits that 3.
Mm-hmm.
How many threes they hit? 12. It's a lot. U of H hit 5. If they make 7 more 3-pointers than you and make 6 more free throws, you should have gotten your asses beat. Not a 1-point overtime thing. Sharp needs to sit for the next 2 games. He sucks right now and needs to get healthy. I don't think he sucks, but he is not giving you yes, he needs to be healthy, and he's not giving you the best chance to win.
Either he is, you need him to be healthy enough to be effective. I don't know how you determine that, but he's not who he. I mean, a half. He's not good enough to run a half of him out there. There have been players here in the past.
Is.
Well, there's been players here in the past that even if they were off physically a little bit, they were good enough that their 70% is better than everybody else. And that was either because of their ability or the lack of reinforcements. But we've got depth. We've got two guys who could adequately fill that role. And it's not so much that it kills us offensively. It's the half step you miss on defense. It's the inability to recover from over pursuit, because that's the strength of ours. What we do is we pursue, and a lot of times we over pursue. And if you can't get back, and that happens with a foot, because you can't stop and start like you normally do.
All of a sudden, this really deep team isn't so deep. With Javier's undisclosed injury to this point, Emmanuel is struggling. Jawan limped off so bad and put so little pressure on that hook. I thought he wasn't coming back. And I said it on our site, the Veer. And of course, he comes back like 8 minutes later. So I look like an idiot.
Well, I mean,
and Ramon's out. And I mean, you're down to a nitty gritty few people. But, you're depending on Juwan and Emmanuel in these big moments when maybe they're not at their best. And, with the 4 fouls on half a dozen guys, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, Kelvin's saying now we're going to lose games. We're going to lose another game. People, you're going to lose. You might lose another game here, he said. He says, I'm not disappointed that we lost. I'm disappointed that we didn't fight more.
Yeah. But I mean,
I think that's 100% fair.
But see, that's why I say that I wasn't surprised, because we've half-assed it for way too many halves of basketball in the last couple of weeks.
What do you mean half-assed it?
You just come out flat. You either come out flat or you get up and you think you got it, and then you get flat again. I mean, this team is damn good, but they're damn good because of their relentless effort and their unyielding focus. Any of that goes away, guess what? You're just a bunch of average players. What makes you great players is that you're willing to do more and go harder than everybody else.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that we thought that going to Kansas, going to West Virginia, and playing Tech here at home, it would be a good 2-1. It would be a great way to get through that. And you had no clue that you'd win the 2 road games and lose the home game. Do you think the ejection was warranted on Toppin?
Well, it's a long answer.
Well, it's a yes or no answer, and then you can go into your other stuff.
No.
Okay.
But because you can't prove intent.
But the rule does not ask for intent.
I know, but I don't think it's a flagrant 2. I would err on that's too harsh for that scenario, because without knowing intent, and the reason why I say that is that I know, and I firmly believe I was a dirty player, and that was 100% intentional, because I would scissor kick the shit out of somebody if I'm falling out of bounds like that and I had the opportunity. I mean, I'm doing everything dirty you possibly can, throwing rabbit punches whenever you're getting boxed out, hitting people in the face with elbows, doing everything dirty you can, putting feet underneath other people's feet, twisting ankles, whatever it takes. I just don't. I think that is I understand why they made it, and by the book, absolutely. I just don't think it's a call that should be made. And I say that because I would feel the same way about our guy.
Yeah, there's a new emphasis on groin hits punches, kicks, whatever, that it's supposed to be a flagrant 2 if somebody gets hit there.
Well, see, the just part of basketball used to be, when somebody's going to shoot, you give them a sack tap.
Okay, but I'm that's just the rule. A flagrant 2, if you go down to D, any contact by the offending player to the groin area of an opponent, which is not clearly accidental. Now, this is the intent part, not clearly accidental. It could go either way to me. I don't think passionately about either way. It turned out that it kind of got them going, frankly. They were pretty dialed in from that point on. When you're as good as we are, all losses sting because you're almost expected to win them all. On to the next opponent, guys. We're still in first place. I think that's a hard one for people to accept tonight, but it's the truth. It's just what's going to happen. Do we know Javier's status? No, we have no clue right now. I don't know if Kelvin just said something, but I don't think he did yet. Refs made the game about them too. That was not a top tier officiating team. You got that last week at Kansas, but that wasn't the one. Iowa State got boat raced by K-State. We're going to talk about this a little later. This might be the most surprising result in the conference this year. I have been saying I thought Kansas State was playing better. I didn't think they were win by 19 better at Hilton. Sharp needs to sit for the next 2 games. And I'm too disappointed, not pissed off, just got to shrug your shoulders and move on quickly. Can't keep going to the same well and expect the same results. Roberts did not have it tonight. I think that's fair. He is on the podium tonight talking. I think he did some good things, but when he's at the free throw line late in the game, it's not always going to be like at Kansas. He's going to miss some, and you kept going to that well, and it's just going to happen that way sometimes. Speaking of Tech fans, Eddie Nunez ran onto the court after a fan from Tech tried to storm. It was one guy, by the way, kind of a bigger boy. And then Eddie went and looked like he pushed him. And then he went and grabbed the guy and waited for a cop to come and help him. And I don't know what the hell is going on, but U of H PD and HPD were nowhere to be found. Finally, they got him and hauled him out of here. You can see Eddie kind of underneath the baskets there with this guy. Whatever. I'm of the opinion that you win, you get to do some things. Maybe not that, but whatever. I like the blue, but can we not wear it when the opponent's colors are red? When you wear it when the opponent's colors are orange and blue, and you won a football game by 4, and you wear it when the opponent's colors are green, and you lost that game. So, I don't know. I don't know what the color is to wear it against, but anyways.
I'd say wear it against a lesser opponent that you need help. You need help filling the arena because you don't need help filling the arena against Texas Tech.
No, you don't need help filling the arena versus any conference team.
No, I mean you need there. I'm not saying conference. I don't want to see them in conference. This circus bullshit is non-conference stuff.
I don't want to see
them ever again.
They want it to be a conference team from the state of Texas, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I can't imagine it's going to do much for that auction for the blue basketball. That can't have helped it. Uh, after watching this, we will most certainly drop another home game this year.
That's what I'm
Okay.
expecting. That's what I signed on for the post game show for. It's all
For
over.
comments like that, yeah.
Oh yeah. We're gonna lose about 7 or 8 more games probably.
Yeah. You know, there was a huge fight. Now, I was told there were fights all over. I didn't see any of them. And there were some on the concourse. People were getting kicked out. Huge fight in section 116. Took security 5 minutes to get there. When you walk around the arena, it looks like there's a lot of security people here, a lot of cops.
Yeah, I mean, if it was in 116, 12X should have rolled on over.
We're on over, yeah.
12X is the cavalry. It's not too far, so it's a letdown.
I see 4 or 5 more L's coming. I see maybe 2 or 3 more losses. I think everybody should just tell us how many losses they think. That's pretty good. Francis seems to get hurt every game. I don't know. Emmanuel and Juwan have gotten hurt a lot. If you're an undersized guy playing down low in this conference, there's a good chance you're going to get hurt. Fight for the blue and white. Isn't part of our fight song. Neither is black.
It's not.
Wear that.
It's not yet. I mean, our only tradition is having no tradition.
I think I like it. I don't know if I like those uniforms specifically.
Well, I mean,
but I like the blue.
I'm a hater from the get-go. I hate it in football. I hate it. I think an ode to the choke show Oilers is just failure written all over it. So I hate it. Hate everything about it. I hate the color of baby blue. I always have.
Okay. We need guys who can create their own shots. I think JoJo gets into very unnecessary foul trouble. There is 2 today that I thought were just really dumb and completely unnecessary. I might be forgetting one. It might have been 3. But it has not. It has not gotten better. I think everybody played too rushed in the first half. They looked like the other team had a fire and U of H was scared of it. We need a point guard who can win his matchup consistently. Being scared and hesitant isn't going to get us past the first weekend in the tournament. Okay. I don't know that Milos is the problem today. That I miss him having a horrible, horrible day. He did have 4 turnovers. I think that's notable.
Yeah.
And how many assists did he have? 2. Again, he had 2 at West Virginia. So that's not a good trend.
I just think with Milo, I really think he needs to. I think he needs to get in his head that stop trying to be as much a facilitator. And if you can get your guy and get by him, get to the hole. First priority, beat your man and then go, because he really does a good job of getting by his guy. But you see him pull up and like, okay, I'm not supposed to be here. Let me dish it somewhere. But that's still a part of his growth and his maturation, if you will, of learning how to play within this system and feeling free to make those types of plays. And when he does that, holy shit, the kid is good. I mean, he's Big 12 Player of the Week good.
Yeah, that was a problem. Can't be having Big 12 Player of the Weeks. Galen's team just lost. They're in Maine. Did he play? Doesn't look like he did. We pulled a rabbit out of the hat against UCF and Kansas. We weren't going to go undefeated, but losing to Tech? Question mark. Tech's going to be in the top 10 in the net tomorrow. They're as good as Auburn or Alabama. Or Alabama, maybe not Auburn, but they're pretty good.
I'm not going to go that far.
They beat you at home when you were playing better.
I mean,
than you were playing against Auburn. I think the result is more impressive here than it was winning at Toyota Center in November. Two things that are true. The refs are not why we lost. The refs were way too involved in the game from the beginning. Yes. And they were going to find a way to, quote unquote, get control. And that was by calling fouls. You should have known that and adjusted. And there was a lot of dumb shit, of course, but there's always that. I just don't. I don't think the refs are the issue. You make your free throws when you need to make them. You make the shots when you need to make them.
I mean, I think the refs were involved, but this was a chippy game from the start. I mean, it was. Yes. We. I'll say this: if we think that there should have been fewer calls, me personally, I'm surprised there wasn't more because we got away with hammering the shit out of them. But that's the way U of H plays,
right?
But I think we're a lot more handsy tonight. Got away with a lot more hand checking. I would just like it to be more consistent. If you're going to call a hand check here and there, you got to call it everywhere. That's it. Just be more consistent.
Okay. Tech was great. They made tough shots. They didn't double. It helped much on D. Made U of H much more one-on-one. Tech was great again and won in overtime by 1 point.
I think
U of H is 9-1 in conference. It's all good.
I think Mark brings up a really good point there. That
the Tech was gret.
No, that they didn't double, and they really forced us to play a one-on-one game. And still as we sit here, the strength of, even when healthy, the strength of LJ and E-Man are not, it's not going one-on-one. So
correct.
They really did a good job of that. Jawan rushed his shot, but he had good position. He had a good shot. He just kind of rushed it. Looked like a little too hyped up early on.
I think he's been that way early in the first half of each of the last 4 or 5 games. I think if you go look at the first 10 minutes of the first half of the last 5 games, I bet he's shooting 20%. I don't. He has obviously rebounded from that. But he has not been great early on. I have to defend myself. Tech is not as good as Auburn. I said the result, winning here in this place on February 1st, is more impressive than winning neutral game on November 8th. You can disagree. That's fine. It ain't going to bother me. Damn you too bad. Damn you too bad.
Sorry.
Bringing in a bunch of recruits to watch and leaning into this blue stuff and all the fanfare and then losing at home to Tech without their best player is destined to hurt bad for years. Slow down. Kingston Flemings was clearly having a blast. Keyshawn Henderson, was having a blast. He was 2 rows in front of me. All the football players were the recruits were having a blast. They were hyped and into it the entire time. 2 coaches told me that there were 21 football recruits here today. Willie was one of them that told me that. So they were doing work. This was a good thing. It's much better to show them this than to show them 8,000 people over at TDSU with Rice or somebody else. Uh, this is what you want them to see. This is, and you lost. Okay. Athletes know that teams lose. It'll be fine. My point was they kept going back and forth between letting fouls go and blowing the whistle.
I agree
That's
with that.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. But I think that's pretty much every game. I don't think there's very many consistently called games from start to finish. Maybe Kansas, I think, was pretty well called, to be honest. But I don't know. I'm with Towns on that take. I want my Cougars wearing red. So I asked Eddie Nunez about this before the game, and he said that sales on this basketball stuff was going very well. Nike and Jordan had stepped up to get more stuff, and they're leaning into it. And it's important because it's a revenue generator. And it's going to be a fight to bring in revenue for this school whenever they can, and they're gonna do whatever they can do to raise 500,000 here or $1 million there. They're just gonna do it, and this is people are completely into this, and Galen has made who knows how much on selling those powder blue Houston versus everybody.
Yeah, but you need a gimmick for football. You don't need a gimmick for basketball. Not this basketball program.
Okay. I think a lot of schools do it, but it's going to happen. It's not like us talking about it is going to change it. But yeah, Tech really brought the fight to us. In the second half, we took the lead. We couldn't get the lead past 6 points.
Yep. Stuck there at 66 to 60.
60 for a while.
Or 60.
And they had a 3. No, I think that was it.
They were on 59 forever. And then they finally hit the back end of a 2-shot foul to get it to 60. And then it stayed at 60 for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, we had opportunities to really push it, and you just didn't. But
yeah,
that's the thing is the and we talked about it when we win. We talk about it when we lose. It's an extremely fine line between winning and losing. The margins are so thin. And if you aren't 110% dialed in at every moment, you can't take a possession off, offense or defense. You can't do anything halfway. It's just the way it is, especially in this league. What makes U of H special is that we are willing to do what other teams are unwilling to do. We outwork everybody.
Yeah. And by the way, this was a big boy atmosphere. This was a great environment. It was as loud at little moments as I ever remember it being in this building. Like, it was pretty cool. Well, I mean, usually that helps you and brings you over the line. Didn't today?
Well, you also have a good frame of reference because, I mean, you've been to West Virginia and Kansas in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, no, 8 days. And, Kansas got loud, but only for just a brief moment in the second half. West Virginia really never got there. This did at little tiny moments. So I was looking for a comment and I've lost it. This doesn't happen very much. I agree with you, Ryan. Winning at our house is more important or more impressive. Nike gave us practice jerseys. I think you're the one that said this to me the first time, that you thought the uniforms were kind of eh.
Yeah.
And I went and looked at them, and I think I agree. Those were not Jordan's best effort.
Those are the types of stuff that you hand out at like a summer camp. So here's your uniforms. You know, they got the press on numbers on the back.
Yeah, the Coca-Cola logo.
I mean,
too.
it's like they just went and got some Nikes at the freaking mall, and then had them pressed right there. At least they didn't get them airbrushed.
There is that. I don't think anybody's done that in 50 years, but
stop off at Cinnabon, spill some Cinnabon on the jerseys.
So I flew into Pittsburgh to go to West Virginia. And when I drove back to Pittsburgh, I had a late afternoon flight, and there was a Cinnabon, and I was like, damn, I might go do that. And I walked over there, and there were like 40 people in line for fucking Cinnabon. There were only 100 people in that damn airport, but 40 of them were in that line, so I didn't get it. And I'm a little pissed off now that you just brought it back up. They got those in the gas station, showing your age with he is old. He is old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the mall where I grew up, we had the airbrushed place, like down to the right. We had a Pizza and Pipes. Right as you walk in on the left, you had a Spectrum down towards the end, and then you had what was it, Oak Tree? Yeah, Oak Tree was at the end of the first hallway.
Yeah, that's exactly what we should be talking about. I traveled to Kansas for last year's game and this year's. They have a fantastic environment, 100%. Last year's game was the best basketball environment I've ever been to, and I don't even know who is second. It was so far beyond. This year, it wasn't like that. Of course, they didn't make 30 shots in a row or whatever like they did last year. I was most surprised, I think, today with the rebounding disadvantage in the first half. It was 20-12 at the half. U of H had 6 offensive boards. Tech had 8. But U of H I think they ended up with 38, and Tech had 37 rebounds.
Yeah.
So they out-rebounded by 9 in the second half in overtime. But just to have somebody come into your building and do that is the most surprising thing I feel like I've seen since maybe you went to Tech last year and lost, or not Tech, TCU.
It's disheartening that you do have a veteran team.
Yeah.
Even though everybody's learning to play together, you still have a veteran team that too many times coach has to go in at halftime and go to the whip and get them going. That's not who these guys are. Or maybe it is, I don't know. But
I like the passionate, this is not who they are. Or maybe they are. I don't know.
I mean, the thing is that if this keeps happening, then
what happened?
It's the coming out and not. What is it? What is it that Kelvin says? Talking about the difference between playing hard and competing.
Okay. Everybody plays hard. Not everybody competes, I think is kind of what he's saying.
Yeah. You just got to do better. I mean, that's all there is to it. At the end of the day, it's a loss. So the good thing is,
it is a loss.
Is that conference winning streak? Never talk about it again because that's dead. Home game winning streak? Never talk about it again. That's dead. So you got no reason to think you're great right now. So don't look at the freaking standings. So you got to go back to square one.
I can't imagine tomorrow is going to be fun. Tomorrow is going to be the hardest day of the year for these guys. They'll probably take Wednesday off. I was thinking maybe they'd take it off, but with Tuesday game, you can't take Sunday off.
Well, and we don't have a quick turnaround, but we do instead of a Wednesday. It's one of those that you're going to have to come to Jesus and figure out who you are and who you want to be, because there are 2 trap games coming up. Not trap games, but games that you think that you could walk in and just destroy Oklahoma State. It'd be easy to cakewalk that. It'd be easy to cakewalk Colorado.
Yep.
Both of those would be huge mistakes.
Yep. Neither of those teams are great, but you're not infinitely more talented. Everybody has a shot. I'm looking forward to going to Colorado. Never been to a game there. But I think it'll be interesting to see how they respond Tuesday. We need a finisher on offense, create and score. Uzon played hot potato at the end of regulation. He quickly gave it to Cryer. I think that's pretty fair. I think that's what happened. And that's something they have been talking about and working with him on. The issue is you revert back to it when there's adversity, and he's got to get to that point where it's consistent. Jamal Shead dealt with the same thing. He dealt with issues like this, and he worked through it, and he got better.
Yeah,
and that's what you have to expect from Milos.
We had this exact same conversations about him his junior year and the start of his senior year.
I don't remember the start of the senior year. I remember it as a sophomore and as a junior for sure.
Well, early in his senior year, it wasn't an issue because we just boat raced everybody in preseason. But the first 2 games against TCU, we talked a lot about that.
Okay. I've slept nearly 20 hours since then, so I don't know.
But yeah, those were discussions that we had. You just in this offense, the guys that we have, it's a strength in that our guys are unselfish. That's a big strength, but it's also a weakness when these guys are good enough to really take control. And we need that a lot from our point guards, because we need it from each guard if they can get to the rack. If we're struggling down low like we did in the first half tonight, we got to get guys to the rim, because you got to open up the paint. You got to make them move.
Yeah. Not to jump off of basketball, but was there really a thing called pipe organ pizza? Never heard of it. Well, that sounds a little sexual.
It was called Pizza and Pipes in where I lived.
Pizza in pipes?
Pizza and pipes.
And okay, not in. That would be weird. I hate to say it, but I knew 5 minutes into the game that this was an L. We looked off mentally, physically, emotionally. It's hard to say for me 5 minutes in. Doesn't mean anything in the long run, but it's just hard to get motivated by. We have risked the ire of the basketball gods wearing this blue shit.
Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Rabble, 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 rabble.
Without my
burn them! Burn them at the stake!
You done?
Maybe.
Look, I'm trying to get out of here. Without Milos would be nowhere right now. Remember that. I think that's 100% true. That's the first time I remember seeing Fertitta there in a few seasons. I started walking down from the top of the arena down to the floor when he started talking. And I was standing on the floor while he was talking for like 5 minutes. It felt like it was a long one. Really cool for Don Cheney. Put the number 24 up. 100% deserved it. Dwight Davis is next. 100% deserves it. And then we start, getting to the other guys. Jamal, others.
I will have a little sip of copium. Hold on one second.
Good Lord.
At least we didn't lose our home winning streak and get donkey punched by Kansas State.
Okay.
So suck it, Iowa State.
All right. I think all the losses count the same. I'll have to check the rules. Jennifer Wilson Pittman says, yes, we had a pipe organ pizza and memorial. I've never heard that. But, I come from a place where there's one pizza. And that's just what you did. The blue jerseys are a little plain. Yes. Wish they had a stripe or something. Yes. A white stripe with some red piping, I think would look good, or a red stripe with some white piping. I wasn't able to get a student ticket, but I heard that there were a lot of fights. What did it look like to you? I wish I would have seen them. I didn't see them. Maybe we'll get something on social media at some point. You would think if they happen, they would be on social, right? What took so long for Cheney? It's Cheney with an A, not an E. I don't know, but how he didn't, he deserved it. It makes no sense. Elvin happened, I think, 31 years ago, 32 years ago. It shouldn't have taken 32 years for Don Cheney. I mean, he broke the color barrier with Elvin. They came in together. That's a massive thing. He played on 2 Final Four teams that, if not for John Wooden and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, probably wins a national title. They played on the highest score. If you go back and look at the scores from that 68 team, I think they scored 100 points, like 11 games in a row, 12 games in a row. That's before the shot clock. They're just running up and down the floor. It's just a totally different brand of basketball. And he was right there. I mean, he could go out and score 24 and get 10 rebounds. And it would be awesome if he wasn't playing next to Elvin, who got 25 rebounds.
Yeah. Yeah, Elvin would go for 40, 35, and 14 block shots.
Yeah. And
10 assists.
He absolutely deserved it. And he absolutely deserved it years and years ago. And I don't know if it was just overlooked or
U of H doing U of H things.
U of H doing U of H things. Kelvin did say that he implied that he was stopped from doing this by the former administration. I don't know anything about that, but it wouldn't surprise. They did Jim Nance last year, and he deserves it, but he doesn't deserve it faster than Don Cheney. So that's all I'll say about that. Has there been a decision made about retiring Jamal Sed's jersey? No. That's not happened to this point.
Come back
and it
to
shouldn't.
in 20 years.
And it shouldn't happen because I am a firm believer that you should not have your jersey or anything like that while you're still playing. I don't think you should be able to get in the Hall of Fame while you're still coaching.
No.
I just don't. I don't think that's right. But I don't run this show. So there you go. Imagine being a Kansas fan right now. Yeah. The best alt jersey of the 80s throwbacks. I agree.
True.
Those have been pretty good.
Yes. I think those have turned into our NCAA tournament uniforms, or at least it feels like.
Maybe. We need to not have such a high standard for jersey retirement.
I don't agree. The thing is that we have a extremely high bar for that, but Cheney was above that bar for
50 years.
Yeah, he's always been above that bar.
And I don't understand. I wish he'd have gotten that earlier. I had heard he was sick, but he sounded great in his comments. You just forget how big that dude was, how long. But man, it's a big man. I wish Galen were here because the two of you suck. Would love to hear his unfiltered comments about the game because town sucks. That's a weird comment. But thank you, Michelle. I wish you were here too. I am pretty sure he'll be here Tuesday. He'll be here Saturday. His games have been weird in that they have followed like U of H's pattern. They played Wednesday and then Saturday, obviously, and then when U of H played, I think Monday the week before, they were there. It just the way it broke, and we'll see. If we go back to that comment about retiring people's jerseys, I think the standard is perfect right where it is. There's no reason to go and retire some guys that aren't to that level.
No, it's not a dry cleaning lost and found.
Okay. I can't disagree with that.
These days, the halls of fame across all sports are turning into halls of probably better, pretty good for your era.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's 100% true.
You see a lot of these. You see a lot of these folks that get all these awards, and they weren't even near the best in their era. They weren't the best. They weren't the best at their position. They weren't a top 5 in their position during their era. I mean, keep it special. But when you have guys that break that threshold, put them up there.
Yeah, I think the
and
NFL
put them up there fairly soon after, within a decent amount of time after they've completed it, because
after they finish playing.
Yeah.
Not before, but after they finish, you give it a year or two, and then get it done. I think the NFL has a requirement now; they have to have 5 a year. That makes no sense to me.
Hall of Famers.
Yeah, and if somebody's worth it, great, and if they're not, oh well. But there's 6 numbers in Jim Nantz. And I don't think you get to Dwight Davis, who I think is 100% in that category. And I don't know anybody else, like just off the top of my head, just thinking that, Jamal it's way too soon, way too soon.
Well, let him get deeper into his NBA career, or
you mean the second year? Yeah. But get that. That'll happen. I would. I don't think there's anybody else that deserves it other than Dwight Davis and then eventually Jamal. So, hate we lost at home, especially to Tech with how poor class they are, but I'm okay losing this game. Needed a reality check. Maybe. I think it helps the coaching when you have adversity. The things they had been able to skate by in some games, as you said, and And they didn't. They fought, and I think you should be proud. But
Well, it's like in life. If you're making a lot of mistakes and you're doing a lot of things that aren't correct, and you don't have actual consequences, consequences being a loss in this case. But if you get away with, if you get away with playing trashy and making mistakes and lack of focus, and you still win, that means, it's easy to accept complacency.
Yeah.
But when you have to pay a price for it, and in this
and
case,
that price is not today. That price is tomorrow. You don't get
Honestly-
patted on the ass like you did after Kansas and West Virginia and UCF. Your life is going to change the next few days.
the honestly, for me, in being in this situation, it was less about the punishment or what you had to go through as far as practice and anything like that. It was the anticipation of that. So, like as a player, obviously, but like when I was a kid and I did something and I knew I was about to get punished, when mom says, "You just wait till your father gets home," waiting for that punishment was worse than the punishment itself. So half-assing and knowing that the coach is going to get in your ass in a day, the time between that loss and the reality of your quote-unquote punishment or your corrective practices, the anticipation's worse than the actually going through it.
I don't know. The stories of the film sessions, I don't know. Maybe you're right, but maybe not. We were probably due for a loss like this after some really solid breaks the first 9 games.
Agreed.
Agree, we should not retire people's jerseys all willy-nilly. It's like the movie said, because once everyone's super, no one will be. JG says, name a point guard better than Jamal Shead in the last 30 years. Can't.
Well, I mean,
Not going to try.
you're going to have a very small list if you name it ever since the program started.
Yeah. I wrote a story at the end of last year, retire his number, but you wait. You make sure that you give it time to breathe, which I think is the 100% the right thing to do. Pro sports do this. I think you wait 5 years in MLB after you retire, and you should. And, I just don't have a problem with waiting. He can't come back and do a ceremony like this while he's playing anyways.
No.
And, he deserves that. So, that's fine. Cheney's jersey was hella late, but no reason why Jamal should have to wait until he retires from the NBA. Okay. I disagree. I think you should wait. I think you need time. I just think it needs time. I don't think you have to rush it.
No.
The good thing about this is his accomplishments aren't going away. He doesn't lose the Big 12 Player of the Year or the Naismith Defensive Award. More life advice, please. I probably have some life advice for you.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Oh, no, not like that at all. Did we do that?
No, I'm saying that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't go to West Virginia and try that pepperoni roll.
No, do it.
Don't do that.
Hey, you the life's about collecting stories, good and bad. That could go any which way.
Well, I know how it went.
Hot pocket.
Yeah. I learned I like Pittsburgh a lot. It's a pretty cool town. Didn't spend a ton of time there.
I didn't know you spent
Texas
any time there.
Tech's AD. I got my flight wasn't till late Thursday, so I went up early that morning and spent some time hanging out. Saw some different sites and things. I want to read Texas Tech's comment. Ooh, let's see if they put it on their tweeter. No, maybe it's on the regular Texas Tech. Nope, doesn't look like it. I'm sure it's somewhere, but I haven't. Let's see if we can find it. We may end the season with the most overtime games of a team. How many do we have so far? Well, you had the 2 in Vegas, right? And then you had last week, and you have this one. Is that 4?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yep.
Somebody, I read it, I guess, said that today was only the 2nd overtime game in Fertitta history, which floored me. I just thought there'd been more. And it was Hofstra a couple years ago when you got down big in that. It was the season opener, I believe. And you came back and you took them to overtime. It was a low scoring game, if I recall. And you won that. There was a guy sitting right where you are, Ryan, that was jawing his ass off to 5 Williams on an inbound play, and 5 gave it back to him. Okay. I think it's perfectly fine if you talk shit, but guys are going to talk shit right back. Let's see. Texas Tech AD Kirby Hocutt. I am appalled and disappointed by the officials' egregious decision to eject JT Toppin from tonight's basketball against Houston. This decision, made on a play that was clearly accidental and without intent, is unacceptable. Immediately after the ejection, I spoke with Commissioner Yormark, who assured me that the situation would be addressed and there would be accountability. On behalf of Red Raider Nation, we are extremely proud of our team and the leadership of Coach McCaslin. I mean, yeah, he said that, but what does that even mean?
Shut up, bitch.
It very well could mean that.
Okay. Whatever.
I agree with that 100%.
Just make sure you stretch out because we're going to beat the piss out of them in Lubbock.
You think?
20 plus. Mark it down.
I am. I decided a couple weeks ago to go on that trip. And after experiencing, I never go to Intercontinental. Never. If I can't fly Southwest, why go? It's just such a much better experience. It's more efficient. Intercontinental is a fucking nightmare. You're landing this terminal, your bags are in that terminal, you got to go on a bus. No, I park 100 yards from the terminal at Hobby, and I'll be damned if I'm ever going to go and have to deal with that bullshit. But I have to do it to go to Lubbock because Southwest does not have a direct flight to Lubbock. So Southwest is the official airline partner of GoCoogs.com.
What kind of plane? Does it have direct to Lubbock, or do you have to go through Dallas?
Yeah, it's direct. No. Southwest is Dallas to Lubbock. United will fly direct to Lubbock.
This is going way back. I mean,
surprising.
When we went to Lubbock, that was the same week that Kurt Cobain passed away.
Yeah.
I guess you could call it. I guess that's what everybody says now. What the hell was that?
Expired.
Yes, expired. But we had to fly into Dallas, and then we took one of those knuckleballers with the propellers on it out to freaking Lubbock.
Okay. I once flew to Shreveport. I think I had to go out and turn the propellers myself. It was a small plane.
Yeah. I don't like being on a plane where they make you get weighed in. Because that's never going to go well. It's like they're going
I
to
feel
have
like
to bring.
somebody was telling me this the other day that this happened to them recently.
I think we might have talked about it whenever I went to Florida.
Oh, okay. When you went to Florida?
Years ago.
No, I'm talking about like last week. Somebody talked to me about this. I don't know why they would weigh you in, Brad. You look perfectly healthy to me.
No, they weighed everybody in. They offended the ladies by weighing them in too.
Okay.
Equality.
Is that in public?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here for it. Kurt Cobain died by shooting his mouth off. I get told I shoot my mouth off all the time, but I didn't realize you could die from it. Yeah. So, what are my notes? They really all became meaningless once you lost the game. Yeah. So you had 21 football recruits. Dane Roy was here. He led the Who's House before the game. Turns out he was the second best ball kicker in the arena.
True.
Behind JT Toppin. Keyshawn Henderson was right in front of me. Willie Fritz sat behind me all throughout the second half and overtime. So all the recruits were down below. The assistant coaches were spread amongst them. But Willie went down on the floor with Keyshawn Henderson. And then after that, he came and sat behind me. And he's, in basketball at least, he's just a fan. He's just cheering and clapping and screaming and really getting into it. I was a little surprised by that, but good for him. I guess that's about it. That's all I have. My notes got really weird after you lost. I agree with you, Ryan. Giving it time to breathe, respect, talking about the retired numbers. I just think it's okay. Like my fear is, and this is not Jamal, this is random person that you decide needs their number retired, and they go beat a woman or beat their wife. It doesn't affect what they did on the court, but it affects how they're perceived. And, do you want to honor somebody like that? I just think giving it time to breathe is the right thing to do, no matter who the person is. IAH is the worst to ever do it. Landed from Seattle and went straight to FC today. I just can't stand. I just got a text from another Texas schools fan saying he thinks Tech is becoming our rival. I don't know how to say this, but you can't beat them in football, and now you're 1-1 against them in basketball in the regular season.
Well, we stomped them twice last year.
Was it okay? I don't remember going. I didn't make that trip, so that's I guess what I'm thinking.
Well, we beat them in the conference tournament.
Conference tournament. You're right, in Kansas City. Yeah, you beat them in that first game you played. If we'd have won, what would the comments say? They'd still be pretty pissed off. Not like this, but
Yeah, it would have looked similar to more similar to UCF.
Yeah.
But you do have a point. All it takes is make one free throw on the front end of a 1-on-1 and or maybe hit two there, put the game on ice, and we're singing it.
If you hit two, you're up 5.
Yep. But guess what? When we were playing Kansas, all they needed to hit was one free throw, and we were still down by 6.
Oh shit!
Good
Boy,
job.
he was close to that screen. Hey, Galen.
Look at that fancy place.
Well, he's in scenic Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine.
Nice.
I feel like this is your second trip there in a couple weeks.
Your feeling is correct.
Okay.
Very much so.
So
It's been a tough day.
yeah.
That it has been.
Shit.
So the fans have been very respectful and have taken this pretty well. Nobody's upset. What do you have to say, Galen?
I wasn't able to watch the game at all, but I mean, I just saw that the team's best player goes out and their coach is like, man, their best player goes out. You gotta. They were probably hopeless in that moment, and you got to capitalize on that, especially it being that early in the game. You got to take their will. And, Coach Sammy's always say this thing. It was like basically when you're playing a team that you should be beating, it's like they think they can win, then they start hoping they can win, then it's like they know they can win, so you got to kind of just put them away and kind of give those guys no hope, because if we would have put belt to ass like we should have, especially with the type of night and everything that was at stake. You got the debut of the blue jerseys. Probably won't wear those anymore. I promise you that. And then you got, a Cougar legend, his jersey getting retired. So it's like you gotta have better. You gotta be more locked in. I feel like that was a team losing their best player, that is unacceptable.
Towns may have died. He just may be on the floor. I don't know. It's possible. We
Right.
did, Galen, I saw, and this is not anything to do with what you just said, and we'll get to that, but there were a lot of Houston versus everybody hoodies all over this place.
That's cool, man.
A lot of them.
Lives on.
But I agree with you. Tech gets the ejection, and then they get the other ejection, and then they just played better than you. It's almost like on some level, U of H just expected them to go away.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They
So it's always good to have a slice of humble pie. And the funny thing is, I guarantee if we played them at Tech, like if we had this game at Tech and everything that happened, we probably would have won.
Why?
Because you're not playing at home. There's not all this stuff going around. It's win at Kansas, win at West Virginia. Everybody's telling you how good you are. It's kind of like it's that type of stuff. So if we were in a bubble like we are when we're on the road, it probably would have been a different level of focus and a different level of locked in. Let alone if we're going into a hostile environment. Like if you go into a hostile environment like Texas Tech and something like that happens, oh, you're ready to kill them. But it's like you expected them to roll over because we're playing at home. And obviously everybody was aware of what our win streak was. So it's like, you kind of tend to play with your food for real. And it's like you can't afford to do that in this conference. Like, and let alone when you got all that, all the shit that we had going on tonight.
Yeah, there was a lot happening. And do you think players, when you were here and there was distractions, was it really something that you noticed?
I mean, yeah.
Or just on your periphery?
It's like, just think about when you're at home, everybody goes to their own apartment, everybody does their own thing. But when you're on the road, everything is more, we're doing everything as a team. So there's a different level of focus because you're always together. And, there's always a positive fear that you have when you're playing on the road because it's an unwelcoming environment. So it's just like, it's something that, like looking back, you could tell, like there were times where we may have lost and I was like, yeah, we really weren't that locked in, like as a unit. Like you can, if you were honest with yourself and you reflect on that, then you'd be able to like, yeah, that wasn't the level of focus that we had, because you can say like the team that we saw tonight, granted, I didn't watch the game, but I guarantee you that team did not have the same mentality of the team that we seen at Kansas. I promise you that.
Oh, yes, 100%. I think
So then
that's 100%
if
true.
that's the case, then that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have that mentality every game, though?
I mean, like I said, it's human nature. You know, you get some big wins on the road. You coming home, it's like a celebratory. You got this jersey, shit. It's all the glitz and glamour, shit like that. So it's like it's human nature to kind of let your guard down because you just expect to win because that's what you've been doing. You know, so it's like you don't expect to win at Kansas and then come back home and lose. Like, so
Correct.
It's a $1 billion industry for performance and excellence. It's the hardest thing to do is not just be great, but to be great every single day. And the further you move up the chain as far as competition goes, the more guys you are going to meet and run across that they are doing things every day that you're not doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why here in this conference, the margin of victory is so small because you have to be great at every moment. And when it comes to games like this, it's possession to possession. You can't burn possessions.
Yeah.
And so if you get a little bit lax, all of a sudden it's like, somebody's going to take a hero shot here. Well, that's giving away a possession.
Yeah. But like you said, it's good that I feel like it's better that this happened at home just because it's just like, okay, we're not invincible. You know, so it's like it's always good to get a slice of humble pie. And all things considered, we're still in first place in this conference. So,
yes.
You know, so that's what matters. That's what we're trying to accomplish. You're going to have some bumps on the road along the way, but we're still in first place. And, you know, losing 2 in a row, our team, they do a great job of responding. I'm not going to say we're invincible to that, but we usually do a great job of responding to shit after we lose. So,
yeah. So we missed a comment Raul made. Sorry, Raul. This is for you, Brad. Have you talked about Milos's miss at the free throw line and passing up 3 at the end? Is he missing a killer instinct? We talked about the miss of the free throw, the first half of the 1-on-1, which you absolutely cannot do, not in that spot. And then passing up the 3.
Hell no.
Is he missing a killer instinct?
He didn't. No. If he would have taken that shot and missed it, this entire fucking chat would be, why the hell is he doing that and not passing it to J1?
Yeah.
J1 was the option. J1, it was going to be your killer. You're going to live and die with that.
He said no more with you guys. Damn.
That's on me. I'll take the blame for that.
No,
one.
that's not a I don't know. Fuck no. He didn't
I
pass
think
that
people
shot.
confuse killer instinct and bad shots.
Like you have to take all the shots for
Yeah,
killer
it's like,
instinct. Is that
because
what
you
you're
take
saying?
bad shots does not mean you're a killer. Like only one person could do that, and that was Mr. Bean Bryant. Yeah, that's aside from that, it's like, bro, I didn't even watch the game, but
I mean, in that situation, I want the point guard to hit J1 on the roll every time. I mean, that was the call. You're going to go with that guy. I don't. Why the fuck would I want to shoot a 3 from there?
Yeah.
Missing a free throw means you're not a killer. We've had no killers ever play basketball then.
Well, I mean, free throw. We saw this week how missing a free throw cost Iowa State at Arizona. Missing a free throw cost Kansas, obviously. But guess what? That's just one mistake out of.
Yeah. So that's what I'm asking. Like, does missing a free throw mean you're not a killer? Like, I don't. Anyway,
it is obviously more focused on because it was late. But after you get the tech or the ejection and then the other ejection, you missed 2 of 3 or 3 of 4, whatever, right then. Like when you had the chance to step on them, you missed free throws. And that's just as bad. But nobody's going to focus on that, and that's fine.
Well, and see if J1 hits that shot and we dogpile it for a win and we jump up and down and talk about how great we are, guess what Tech gets to talk about? They get to talk about missing like fucking 51 and one front end of one.
They talk about they got hosed by the referees. So the AD is going to come out with a statement.
But they also missed a shit ton of free throws.
They missed a ton of. They were 10 of 12 to start the game at the free throw line, and then they missed 7 of 9 or 9 of 11 over that next stretch that let U of H back in it and gave U of H a lead, like a 6-point lead. Here's when Galen came on the show. Oh snap! G Money. Galen gonna vent. Oh shit! Glad I stuck around. What up, Godfather? God has a plan.
Big Mac.
Galen here to calm the crowd. Exactly, Galen. All this ass kissing.
Galen,
easier to be the hunter than the hunt.
Exactly.
Question. Okay, you have a painful loss like this, and then you've got a couple of days you got to run it back against a team that you blew out of the water on the road in Oklahoma State.
That's what I'm saying. Is like you got
what
Colorado and Baylor at home.
What kind of mental rework are you going through in your quote unquote off day and then going into that game?
I mean, everybody, we have a veteran group and the guys know that. Granted, I didn't watch the game, but I'm sure nobody knows better than them in regards to how they played. So granted, it's easier to coach a team after you lose because you have everybody's attention and everybody on the team wants to do well. So it's just like, it's not going to be something that's going to be hard to get past because we have a team full of winners, guys who are used to winning. And it's just like, damn, we fucked up, let them get away, on to the next one. It's like, they might dwell on it, but it's like the team, they're going to plus the film session. Coach Sam is going to get his rocks off and he's going to vent, make himself feel better. Then after that, it's like, we got another big time game against Oklahoma State. And it's like, you can't let one game beat you twice.
Correct.
So it's just on to the next one. Let's focus, hone in on what they do and what they're good at and try to, eliminate it and then just get back to doing what we do. So it's just like, it's not if you thought we were about to go undefeated in this conference, go put your head in the toilet and flush it because that was not going to happen. Got a better chance smoking a cigarette underwater.
Self-swirly.
Like, yeah, like what are we talking about?
If they need an example about letting one team beat you twice, look what Iowa State's gone through in the last week. They get gutted against Arizona, and then they come home and get blown out of the water by not good Kansas State.
And they got gutted on Monday. So they've had all week sitting at home to get over it and move on.
In their defense, they're missing a big part of their team.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a little
we're missing E-Man.
I mean,
that's a 19-point loss at home.
Yeah, but I mean, they're missing a big part of their team. So it's like those losses are a little, being objective, those losses are a little different.
They are.
But losses nonetheless.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, but Emmanuel was ineffective today. Javier went down with an injury that I still don't know what exactly happened. I think he got popped in the face and maybe hit his head on the floor when he came down.
He got his legs tied up too.
Well, he was woozy. Like when he stood up, he was like, and went straight to the locker room and never came back.
It seemed like it was just a nasty day for everybody.
Yeah. And then Kelvin wore a suit. He didn't wear a tie, but he wore a suit. And he's lost some weight over the last 2 years. And he hadn't bought any suits. And so it was kind of just big on him. And it looked kind of like, I don't know how a 68-year-old man wears his daddy's suit, but it looked like he was wearing his daddy's suit. It just didn't fit. Galen's on the phone. This game was the result of winning on the road twice where you most likely should have lost to Kansas. Knowing our coaching staff and our guys would hate to be Oak State. Damn, Galen said we was Apollo Creed in Rocky IV. Too much distraction. Blue sucks. This team will be fine. And like Galen said, You need a slice of humble
One
pie.
momento. I gotta go. I got a fucking Uber DoorDash driver that only speaks Spanish. Give me like 5 minutes.
No
Jesus
problem.
Christ. What,
I had to get off of that before. Got weird.
Oh, that's funny.
He just went to the un momento. There he is, Galen. Apparently, Big J has a concussion. I did not know. I don't know that. If so, he has to sit for 7 days. Does that mean also Colorado? That's a big deal because I think Javier is playing really well. And Coach always talks about the importance of having a team full of guys that you can lose together with.
True.
He does talk about that. And I think he's pretty comfortable with this group of guys. Yeah, you don't just replace a Momciljevic and be good. Okay. It was wearing the suit. It was 100% wearing the suit. It was not anything about the Blues. It was the suit. I just don't think you should wear it. It looks much more comfortable in the other thing. Poor Galen. Poor Uber or DoorDash guy. I did not know that in the G League, that's how you had dinner.
Heck yeah.
We speak Spanish. That was worth sticking around for.
I mean, if we were on our road trips, we would be doing that too.
I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna. Does Javier have one more year of eligibility? No, he does not. As far as I mean, I understand it. He does not have another year. This is it for him.
I mean, who knows? Who knows at this point? You could petition the NCAA and say, "I'm coming back. I don't care what you say."
Yeah, it's not like they're going to fight you. They don't fight anybody now. So you just kind of do whatever you want.
There are no
Okay.
unbelievable.
Did it work?
Memento.
See, everybody here was wanting to translate for you.
I
Oh,
mean,
everybody.
I didn't know if he had a terrible Spanish accent. I thought it was trying to speak like Ethiopian or something. I was like, what language you speak? He was like, I speak Spanish. I'm like, that didn't sound like no Spanish. But hey, man.
What are you ordering?
Rather not say.
Oh, come on,
Uh-oh.
man.
It's gonna
Pepperoni roll?
it's gonna my skin tone is gonna it's a stereotype. I have a stereotypical order.
They deliver watermelon?
I thought they'd be out of season
You
up
probably
there.
like watermelon just as much as me.
I know I
eat
do.
it way more than you.
Yeah.
I get a watermelon a week,
No.
starting in April. So yeah, I eat a lot of that. Okay, well, where was
Well,
it from?
you can't like
Popeye.
chicken more than him.
I love
You're
you,
talking about a dude who used to go every Wednesday to Barbecue Inn.
No,
Had your
I
own
would
booth?
go 4 or 5 days a week. Would eat barbecue and fried chicken. Yeah, it's bad.
Damn, man, I missed so much of this show. During our game, like our assistant GM, I was like, bro, what's the score? What's the score? He was like, you're up, you're down. Then he was like, we were up, whatever, with however many seconds left. Timeout happened. After the timeout, I was like, what? He was like, it's tied. I'm fucked. Oh, Lord.
I mean, they hit some credit to them. They hit some big threes.
Big
threes.
shots.
Yeah.
Big shots. It's not like you played crap and they won flukily. Here's their first half, Galen. Okay? They were 13 of 25.
Who was?
They shot Texas Tech in the first half.
Sheesh. That's above 50%.
They were 7 of 14 from 3. And they had 8 offensive rebounds. They missed 12 shots and had 8 offensive rebounds.
I think they out-rebounded
You
us
can't
20
do
to
that.
10, 20 to 10 in the first half.
20 to 12, yeah. You can't have 8 offensive boards on 12 missed shots. You just can't do it.
That's after they had their best player ejected.
Yeah. Did you see the kick that he put on Javier? Poor Javier, his balls, his head is.
Oh,
Oh, no, it was JoJo. You're right. I'm sorry.
I saw it, but
Ryan, did you get that clip?
I don't know if that was a
Yeah, but I'm not showing it now.
Yeah, I mean, just being objectively speaking, I don't know if that was a flagrant 2. It was just,
so the rule in college now is that any hit in the groin area gets you ejected. So if you look down at D,
so
any
it's like it's
contact,
more so it's like a rule. It wasn't like, I don't think that was his intent, was to just cause that much destruction. But if the rule is no matter what happens, this is a flagrant, then yeah. But I don't know. Like, I don't think that was like a true flagrant 2. It was just a flagrant 2 according to the rule. But I guess that makes sense.
See, they're making basketball week. You know, they wanted to cut out the drive-by sack tap on a 3.
And it's like he was turning away. I do that. You lift up your leg and shit. Like the shit that Draymond does, those are flagrant 2s. He's passing it and kicking you in the nuts after the fact. Like, yeah, brother, you need to get up out this game. But I don't think that was that kid. I didn't watch it live, but I just seen the replay. I don't think it was a flagrant 2. I didn't think it deserved to get ejected. But,
yeah, we talked about it.
What do you think?
I just don't have a firm opinion on it. I see in the rule book, this is what it says. They had to go. I mean, they played quite they kept playing. It's not like it was called immediately. They played some and came back and reviewed it and then threw him out. And I think that pisses people off. And, if it's so bad that you get ejected, you should see it in the moment.
Yeah. Instead of watching slow motion.
Slow motion, and then, I mean, his foot does kick up, and he kicks it up, and he kind of does this up and under, but it's not egregious.
Yeah.
But
I felt like that was like an actual basketball. Like, it's not like you're gonna fade away, throw an overhead
and throw a pass
and leave
across court.
Straight.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna fall. Like, it's a natural basketball move. I think.
Well, me personally, I say it was intentional because I would have been doing that intentionally. But I don't think he should have been ejected for it.
Yeah. Flagrant 1 play on, but hey.
We need to bring back more violence to basketball.
Of course.
Oh.
The old school.
All right, hang on. I did not see this, but Alvin Franklin, the former point guard from Phi Slamma Jamma, passed away today. That's terrible.
Damn.
I met him. I have to think about that. I think I met him. But yeah, that's terrible. The shot of the day was the guy who won the TDSU gift card. Somebody hit a half-court shot to win. I think it was $1,200, and then somebody else hit a shot to win something else. I don't remember what that one was. Better shots than what you saw. Galen, spicy or regular? I'm ready to remove you from the show if you say regular.
No, yeah, it's spicy.
Okay, good.
The ghost pepper joints.
I just don't understand why they even have the regular.
Who eats regular?
Star Pizza.
I'm trying to think of anybody. We haven't talked about Star Pizza in a while. Star Pizza. Good people, good food. Mike Pittman from Star Pizza was so worried this week about poor Malik in his undershirt. And Malik did not find a blue one, clearly, because he wore a white undershirt. And they made him remove it. So we got to see his biceps. And they weren't bad, Galen. You were all worried about his arms not having arms. Well, they weren't bad. So Malik was off offensively because of the long sleeve. He hit some shots though.
Yeah, I thought he played well.
The funny part about saying he was off because of the long sleeve after what he did in the long sleeve
was because he's off because he didn't have it.
Yeah.
Oh.
He wasn't used to that air on his arms.
Yeah.
So he played he got into the game with the long sleeve, but they made him take it off. So just terrible.
I know those jerseys look elite too. Damn.
We're gonna fight now.
Yeah, we disagree.
Y'all didn't fuck with him?
Hell
The
no.
jerseys, I thought the jerseys looked cheap. The
Whatever
blue I love.
whatever the phrase of the day is that's opposite of fuck with them, that's where I stand. I hate them.
Damn. That's tough, Jordan Brand. Gotta do better, man. You're juggernauts.
Galen, what do you think of Jordan's shoes, like playing in them? Are they good quality shoes?
Well, they actually are. Like, they're comfortable for sure. Like, I do remember. Yeah, I remember. Like, yeah, I always. Granted, you probably would prefer to hoop in retros, but like the shoes that we play in, like they're actually very good basketball shoes for sure.
Okay, I
What are
just
the-
had heard that maybe they weren't the best.
What are the
And
other?
I don't know.
What other brands are there?
So
that
then,
are
what is the best?
quality?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I was told, and I just
I'm saying by
I
who?
was going to ask a basketball person.
Mm.
I'm not going to out
I
somebody.
mean,
but,
if it was a player, yeah. I mean,
I mean, but everybody has their own things, right?
yeah.
Maybe you don't like it.
Reebok pumps, baby.
That's exactly what you want to.
The old X-Men Sauconys.
Where was that?
Sauconys?
Oh,
Oh.
I totally forgot. Thank you.
That's old,
How
that's
did
old
your show
timey,
go?
dude. Hey, Rhino. Roy.
I've got somebody talking to me. What you got?
Oh yeah, that's Star Pizza. That's all.
Star
Here we
Pizza.
That's hard.
Glide War Kangaroos. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That's fantastic. They used to have all kinds of weird stuff back then.
Yeah.
Converse weapons with
Good
Magic
thing
and
those-
Bird.
Those are a thing of the past.
Yeah, you're so fucking old. I mean, jeez.
Damn, man.
Used to have the Magic versus Bird video game.
Man. Damn.
Our boy Kingston Flemings was here today.
Mm.
Andy Yanes just hit a 3, first shot, and he's making some dumbass hand thing. I don't know, but he hit a 3. Whatever.
Man. I hate when they lose.
Boy, we had really started to like it.
You're lucky you didn't have to watch it.
Yeah, it was. Do
I-
you ever go back when you miss a game? Do you ever go watch it?
I try, but it's like it's kind of hard to find something that's not highlights. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't
and then
give it the game flow. But
you know who won. You know what the game.
yeah,
Like how do you?
playing with this team, man, is people really take for granted how hard it is to win a game. It is very hard, and the fact that like we're so accustomed to our team winning, spoil riding. Because I'm trying to tell y'all, we're going through a nice little losing streak. It is hard to win a game. It is very.
How many games have you lost in a row?
Let's not even talk about that.
Okay.
Just focus on, hey, we're on to the next one. Can't let that game beat you twice.
Or 15 times.
Yeah, shit. Oh man, dog.
Did your orders go out or from?
They're shipping
Over
to
there?
me. Yeah, they're shipping to me.
So they'll be here.
Yeah, but I have to ship them whenever I get back, which is on the 4th. So yeah, it's tough being a one-man army, man. Tough.
I feel that. Boy, do I feel that. Okay, that's about it for today. It's an hour and 45 minutes. I really thought this was going to be like 15 minutes, Brad. I thought it would just be so negative and people would just be like, whatever. But good crowd.
I actually think it was. I think the response was
We did. It was a
somewhat
lot better.
appropriate for the I don't think it got out of line.
No, I think this is reasonable. I think it was a really
Frustration.
well played, hard game. I mean, it's not like you lost to some ass team.
Yeah.
They're going to be in the top 10 in the net tomorrow.
They are. Well, they're
They're
number
third
9
in
in
the
Ken
conference.
Palm. They moved up to 9 in
they're
Ken
going to be.
Palm. So
They're a legitimate team, and this gives Kelvin everything he could ask for. Tomorrow is going to be quite a day for the players, and
That
you know,
film is gonna be scary, boy. Ooh.
for sure. Okay, Galen, why don't you give us your final thoughts on what you didn't see?
Wish we could have came out victorious, but hey, man, the beautiful. You know what I love about what? How does the quote go? At the end of the day got to end. On to the next one, man. You got to flush this after the day. Can't let it carry over. Can't let it, have a dark cloud over our team. So just on to the next game. Like I said, don't let it beat you twice, and let's get another winning streak started.
That was pretty good, Brad.
don't do that again. Got to play better.
I doubt they'll be wearing the icy blue joints again.
Yeah, we're going to change that Cats logo back to red, so we don't have to look at that blue anymore.
Yeah.
Get rid of all that.
The thing is, this team knows that they left a win on the floor.
Yeah.
That it's not. I think it's going to be correctable. There's nothing that's not correctable. There's, like Galen said, don't let one cost you two. You got a team that you should beat by 30-40 on Tuesday night. So it's a get right game, and then you got another get right at Colorado. We should be flying pretty high come week after next.
And you go into quite a schedule then after you get back from Colorado. That's maybe the hardest stretch of the year. Arizona State does not look like a difficult game, but you are making that trip to Arizona twice.
You never know, man.
You never know. 100%.
Never know.
Go into somebody's house. You've never been there. You don't know what it's going to be. You don't know how your team's going to respond. It could be anything. And you're flying to Arizona. You're flying home, and you're flying to Arizona State. And that's a hard week. And I think it's Saturday, Tuesday. So you'll fly home Saturday night and then turn around and fly back out Monday around lunch. So that's a hard week. But this week, Oklahoma State, and you go to Colorado. Yeah, get right, but you got to fix some things, and I think that'll be kind of an emphasis tomorrow.
When is the Oklahoma State game? How many days is that?
Tuesday.
Shit.
You're off, I think.
Yeah, I'm talking about like, just get E-Man right, man. Shit,
I'd rather it be sooner than later.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to play Monday, not after this.
Yeah.
No.
But
yeah. Good thing is Iowa State and Kansas got Monday.
Yeah, would have been a massive game.
Good for both of them.
Yeah.
Wait, what did Baylor came back from 20 some odd points down?
Jamie sent me a text like I knew Kansas wouldn't play like shit 3 games in a row, and then they completely fell apart in the second half. It's starting to look like last year. That was the preseason undisputed, no doubt about it, number 1 team in the country.
Oh, I think we stole their soul.
That's fine. Whatever.
Get that Tin Man. Got no heart.
when we beat them in Lubbock, it'll be a quad one win. Well, when you go to Lubbock, it's 1-75, so it's going to be way inside that quad one. I do not like your attitude, Bruce. Final thoughts. We might go on a little bit. Seems like we're doing a lot of learning. Losses this season.
Spoiled.
I mean, what are you, 16-4, 17-4?
9-1 in the what is it? 9-1 in the Big
9-1 in
12?
the conference.
Come on, baby.
I mean, you've lost to
It's a bit of
what's
content.
gonna. 3 of your 4 losses will be to teams in the top 10 at Ken Palm and the Net. It's not like you're losing to scrubs. San Diego State is not a great team, but
Like I said, it's not like you got blown out by 20 plus to 9-11 Kansas State.
at home.
You know what's funny about the quad one stuff? It's like people can say whatever about they don't have this. Well, it's funny how when if a team plays us and beats us, how much that does to their how much that helps them.
Right.
Like that just kind of doesn't make sense to me. If we're not that good because we don't have this, then why is it that when we get beat, it's this big reward? Like that doesn't really add up. But
No.
why not?
U of H has gotten a lot out of the Net and the computers. So if it helps somebody else, whatever. MSU went down. I guess that's Michigan State. So
We're worried about Memphis.
oh well. Memphis State. Hot damn. It's so weird when I'm here. I don't really know what the hell's going on elsewhere. So I don't know scores of other games. Anyways, that's going to be it for us tonight. We're getting done in under 2 hours. Look at us. Big crowd, 713 right now watching.
Waste time,
Appreciate
baby.
y'all. The warm-up shirts they were wearing today had For the City across the back in the blue, and they were white, and we'll never see those again. So good luck to everybody that loved those. I really think you're right. You're not going to see these.
Yeah.
If it's not ever, it won't be next year unless they're just required to.
I mean, I'm fine with that if you want to do it in preseason or something against a different team or whatever. But once we get into playing real basketball and stuff that really counts, let's keep it to our normal stuff. We don't need in conference gimmicks.
Okay, but you're wearing black. You wore it here. You think that's a gimmick?
No, that at least makes sense.
How? Why does that make sense more than this?
Because at least you'll see black on a uniform. Blue has nothing to do with anything remotely close to U of H.
Well, neither is black. I mean, I think it looks good. I like the black.
It's been outline or on something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, wear that shit against Hofstra or something.
Galen, y'all wore a gray jersey, a gray uniform.
Those are smooth.
Am I remembering that? You like those? Y'all,
Yeah,
I don't think y'all ever lost in them.
Yeah, we ain't losing those. But yeah, the gray was definitely smooth. Very much so.
Was that the year at TSU?
Yeah.
Or was it the year you were here?
Yeah, it was TSU and my senior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't get.
We wore those gray ones in my senior year. We wore those in the tournament. Ohio State. Yeah, for sure.
I just don't get worked up about uniforms. I mean,
I do.
it's your outfit. Who cares?
I'm superstitious.
Very superstitious.
Well, guess what? They're going to come out Tuesday, and Kelvin and them are going to be wearing different polos, and the staff's going to be wearing different long sleeves, and Kelvin won't be in no damn suit. I'll tell you that. Which he did for Coaches versus Cancer today. I saw somebody say it might be because of Don Cheney. No, Kelvin wasn't out here for that. And it was just the coaches versus cancer they do every year, the suits and sneakers. So there you go. I would rather lose and learn from this experience than blow out a team like ECU this time of year. I trust this team will improve, and that being Big 12 battle tested will pay off. Agree. At least I got some star pizza. There you go. That's the show.
I hear that in Leroy Jenkins' voice. Sorry, you won't know anything about that.
Towns, I don't know about a lot of shit you be talking about, brother. Way before my time.
It's not even that interesting, Galen. Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate it. Thank you for spending this venting session, this time with us. And we'll do it again Tuesday. We'll talk to you about tomorrow night's Talk About Them Cougars tomorrow morning. We have someone. I'm going to have to figure out if today changed the math on that, but I think we have someone pretty good you'll like tomorrow. So check out that tomorrow morning. Thank you all so much, and we'll do this soon. Thank you, Galen. Thank you, Brad.